today we'll continue with some more numericals on superposition of waves to, that means stationary waves mainly. So yesterday we had done till number 12. So today I'll do question number 13 of page number 644. 644. What is the fundamental frequency of note produced by a closed end pipe of length 16.3 centimeters? Velocity of sound is given. What are the frequency of the first two overtones? First, we have to find the fundamental frequency of closed pipe. Closed pipe. Okay, what is the formula of frequency of a closed organ pipe? If you remember, I think odd multiple of V by 4L, and open pipe integral multiple of V by 2L. Here I write 2n plus 2n minus 1 V by 4L. This is the formula. For fundamental, n value is 1. So the value of f will become V by 4L. This is F1. F1 is fundamental frequency. We'll put the value. Velocity is given 334 divided by 4, and to the length. Length given is 32.6 centimeter. 32.6 centimeter will change in meter into 10 to the power minus 2. And now we'll calculate it using calculator. Your answer will come 512 hertz. This is the frequency of the fundamental one. Now we have to find also the frequency of first two overtones. Write down frequency of first overtone. First overtones, that means the value of n, we have to put 2 here. 2 to the 4, odd multiple. This is 1 V by 4L. The next will come 3 V by 4L. Or you can add 3 times of F1. Frequency of second overtone will be 5 times of F1. That means 3 into 512 gives answer 1536 hertz. This is 5 into 512. Answer is 2560 hertz. Very easy. This is answer. Your answers have come. Okay. Question number 18, you will try yourself. Okay. Number 18. So this chapter is done. So now we are starting chapter number 38. Okay. Sound waves and Doppler effect. The name of the chapter is Sound waves and Doppler effect. Okay. Name of the chapter is Sound waves and Doppler effect. This is the name of the chapter. Chapter number 38, the last chapter of your book given. In class 10, we used to learn you used to learn 3 characteristics of sound wave, no? Loudness, pitch, and quality. Loudness depends on amplitude. Actually, loudness depends on intensity of sound, which is measured in terms of decibel. And loudness is directly proportional to square of amplitude. L is proportional to A square. And class 10 only used to remember the pitch. Pitch means shrillness of the sound or the sharpness of the sound, which depends on the frequency. More the frequency, more the pitch, less the frequency, less the pitch. I think class 10 you have done all this. They used to do about quality. Quality depends upon the wave pattern, which help us to distinguish between the two sounds having same pitch and loudness. Quality. These three things you know already. Now, in class 11, mainly you have to learn about Doppler's effect. Doppler's effect. Doppler's effect. You have to mainly learn about it. Doppler's effect is a phenomenon. We say the change, the apparent change in the frequency of sound due to relative motion between the source and the observer is called Doppler's effect. What I mean to say, suppose source is here, emitting sound, and person is somewhere at one place. So either the person is moving or the source moving or both of them are moving, but there is a relative motion between them. So whenever there is a relative motion between them, the frequency of the sound will appear to be different to the listener, to the observer. This effect is called Doppler's effect. I'm sure the source is here and the person comes closer, then the sharpness of the sound will keep on increasing. When the person goes away, the sharpness of the sound keeps on decreasing. So there will be change in the frequency, but not so. There is an apparent change. Apparent means, which is not real, which the person will feel. There is an apparent change in the frequency of sound as heard by the listener due to the relative motion between the source and the listener or observer is called Doppler's effect. This phenomenon is called Doppler's effect. So we will consider three cases. In the first case, we will consider the source is at rest and the observer is moving. Maybe in the same direction as the sound emitted, that means the person is moving away from the source. That is one case, or the person may move even towards the source. What I mean to say, first case we will consider that the source is at rest and the observer is in motion. Second case we will consider that the source is in motion whereas observer is at rest. That is the second case. Source may come towards the observer, it may go away from the observer. Both possibilities are there. And the case 3 we will consider that the both source and observer both are in motion, maybe towards each other or maybe in the same direction. But both of them will be in motion. So there are three such situations. So we'll do one by one. Doppler's effect definition I have already given. The apparent change in frequency due to the relative motion between the source and the observer is called Doppler's effect. Now, case 1, we can write here when source is at rest and the observer is in motion. We are considering this case first. So, whenever source is at rest, source is emitting the sound. So, source is emitting waves. Waves will have wavelength. That wavelength will not change. That wavelength will not change. Only the frequency of the sound will change. Wavelength will not change. So, we can consider that the source is moving, observer is moving away. So we can just show the diagram here like this. Here is the source, here is an observer. Source is emitting the sound like this. This is the velocity of the sound, I'll denote by V. And observer is moving suppose like this, VO, observer is moving away from the source. Source is at rest. That means this V equal to the velocity of the source is 0. And it's emitting the sound of velocity V. V is the velocity of the sound. So we'll see this time the wavelength will remain the same, only frequency will be different. We write here apparent frequency f dash is equal to frequency formula we have v by lambda, velocity by lambda. What do you see? We see this one, they are in the same direction. No? When two things are moving in the same direction, what is the value of their relative velocity? You have to subtract. When they move in the opposite direction, you have to add. Just now, I will be subtracting that V minus VO and the wavelength is lambda. Wavelength will not change. Next line I write is f dash is apparent frequency. I will write as V minus V naught. We know the formula V is equal to f lambda. Therefore, lambda value will come V by f. Lambda value I put here V by f. This f will come up, and the formula will become this one: V minus V naught by V into f. This is the formula. This is the formula of apparent frequency: V minus V naught by V into f. When to use this formula? When source is at rest and the observer is in motion. If the observer is moving towards like this, then you have to put a plus sign. You have to put a plus sign. V plus V naught by V into f. If the observer is moving towards the source, that means that time frequency will appear to increase. And now the observer is moving away from the source, the frequency will appear to decrease. This is first case. Okay. Now the second case we will do when the source is second case, when the source is in motion. When the source is in motion, we'll take the second case when the source is in motion. That means observer is at rest and the source is in motion. Okay. Understood? This formula understood, no? Please respond. Have you understood this formula?
Sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay. Now, we will take the case where the observer is at rest. Observer is at rest. That is V naught value is 0. Observer is at rest and the source is in motion. Source is emitting the sound. V means this V stands for velocity of sound. Velocity of sound. Source is in motion. Source is moving, so like this, velocity of source is Vs. Source may move with some velocity here. And here is the, you see this V and this Vs, they are in the same direction or opposite direction here. They are in the same, they will be always in the same direction. So relative motion will be V minus, relative velocity will be V minus Vs. And this time the wavelength will be different. We write here lambda dash, apparent wavelength formula here, velocity V minus Vs by f. Next line I write as this. Therefore, apparent frequency formula will be, apparent frequency formula is V by lambda dash. V will remain as it is. Lambda dash value I put here, V minus Vs divided by f. This f will come up. Here you can have f dash is equal to V by V minus Vs into S. This is the formula. In this formula, what is V? V is always the velocity of sound. And Vs just now is the velocity of the source. Vs is the velocity of the source, and F is the actual frequency of the sound emitted by the source. And this is F dash is the apparent frequency. This is the second formula. Okay? Please check and let me know. All right. Okay. Case 3 now. Third case. Yes. Any responses? We are doing case 3 when source and observer, when both, you can write when both source and observer are in motion. Both are moving. Here is the source, which is emitting the sound of velocity v, and here is an observer. This is an observer which is moving, who is moving with the velocity v. Now, maybe in the same direction we are considering, but in the opposite direction you will subtract. And velocity of the source is vs. Vs is like this. So in this case, since observer is also moving, that is the frequency will be apparent frequency will be changing, and wavelength also will change. Both will change. First, I will write the formula of lambda dash. Lambda dash value, just now we had done know that when the source is in motion, this V and Vs will be in the same direction. The relative motion will be V minus Vs by, here I like F dash. No, sorry, F is the frequency on Mark's equation number 1. And there will be changing the frequency as well. F dash will be this velocity and this velocity will subtract, like the first formula V minus V naught by lambda dash will write it, because wavelength is also changing. Next line I write that is F dash is equal to V minus V naught, lambda dash value I will put here. V minus Vs divided by F, that F will come here. This becomes the formula. This is the formula. Okay? This becomes the formula. If you remember only this formula, you can solve any questions. You don't have to remember case 1 and case 2. How I will tell you, if you remember this formula. First case, source is at rest. That means Vs is 0. Vs is 0, so you have this formula. Check the first formula which you got. Can you check the first formula which you have got? When the observer is at rest and the source is moving. When the source is at rest and the observer is moving, so Vs value is 0, then we have this formula. We already derived. Case 1, please check. Can you check the case 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, actual formula was Vs here. Now, second case, what happens? The second case, observer is at rest. Vo is 0. See the formula. Check it with the second case. What formula have we got? Same formula, no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when both of them are in motion, then the formula is what I got here. V minus V naught by V minus Vs into F. That means only third formula you remember. And accordingly, you will use this formula and do a particular case. When the observer, because source and the V and Vx will always be in the same direction. That's why V minus Vx always will be there. Now observer can come towards the source, or observer can move away from the source. That can happen, or the source can go away. Means Vs and V naught can be in the same direction, can be in the opposite direction. So accordingly, we'll make changes. Or if they are approaching each other, then the direction of velocity will change. You have to take negative sign out there. What I have taken all the cases of VO is in the same direction as V and Vs. That's why the minus sign is coming. And if they are in the, approaching each other, then the sign will change, become plus. So this formula, the Doppler's effect, the formula derivation is done. That means the theory part of this chapter is done. Now we have to only do problems. This chapter is short only, so we will be doing problems. Okay. Let us take the question and do. Example 38-1 of page 652. A sound source emitting waves of 1000 Hertz. Sound source is emitting sound wave of 1000 Hertz. This actual frequency is 1000 Hertz. We write that information first. With a velocity of 30 meters per second. A sound source emitting waves of this source is moving. A sound source is moving with a speed of velocity of 30 meters per second, like Vs. Vs is 30 meters per second. Okay, question says, what are the wavelengths ahead of and behind the moving source? Take velocity of sound equal to this. Okay. You have to find only the wavelength. When source is in moving, they are saying ahead and behind. Ahead means here and the source is going, the person is behind. That means person is at rest. What is the formula of apparent wavelength? You can check. That means formula is V by source is, this is the source emitting the sound like this, V, and Vs is in the same direction. So that is relative motion with V minus Vs by S. So we'll get the value of lambda. The question is not asking to find apparent frequency. Question is asking to find the apparent wavelength only. So get the answer. V is given. What is the speed of sound given in the question? 330. 330. Vs is 30. Actual frequency is 1000 here. Now we get the answer. 300 by 1000. The answer is 0.3 meter. Is answer. Second case for behind. This is the first case. Case 2. Lambda dash. That means source is passing over the observer here. Here is the observer. Then the person observer is behind. The formula will change and become V plus Vs by F. So this time we'll be adding 330 plus 30 divided by frequency is 1000 here. 360, answer will come 3.6 meter. Second answer. So the 0.36 will come 0.36. 360 by 1000. So answer is coming 0.36. So this is done. Now I am doing example 38-2. Example 38-2. 38-2. Question says a train blowing whistle of frequency 1152 Hertz is passing a railway station with a speed of 72 km per hour. Calculate the frequency of sound heard by a standing observer on the platform when the train is approaching. And second part, when it is leaving. Okay. Velocity of sound is given 340 here. Let us have the information. Actual frequency of the sound is given 1152 hertz. And the train is moving with a speed of 72. That is, train is the source of sound. The velocity of the source is given 72 kilometers per hour. It will change in meter per second. 72 into 5 by 18, answer will come 20 meters per second. Observer is at rest. We are doing case 1. When the train is approaching the observer. What is the actual formula of frequency? We can just take that formula, no, that V minus V naught by V minus Vs into F. This formula will always apply to case 3. But in this case, observer is standing, observer is at rest. I will not write this. I will just write this. And I'll put the value and find answer. What is the speed of sound given? 340. 340 minus Vs is 20 into actual frequency is 1152. Now I'll get the answer. Calculate. Your answer will come 1224. 1224 hertz. Case 2 now. Again F dash, because observer is at rest in both the cases. Now the train is leaving the person. When it is leaving, when the train is approaching, we have this answer. When it is leaving the standing observer, I mean observer at rest, so this will be same the direction of this source will become V plus Vs. The direction is changing now. Okay. So now we will find the answer. This is coming 340. And this will be 3 Hello? Hello, am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Sir,
Hello? Yeah, yeah. So you learned them, eh? So you got the idea, no? Doppler effect idea you got, okay? So few problems, two, three problems we'll do next day, and then we'll start now. From tomorrow, we'll be starting the chapter heat. Kinetic theory of gases we'll do first, and after that, conductivity, thermal conductivity, and then the thermodynamics. Okay, thank you.